Hello and welcome to Paper Plays Julie K.
Welcome everyone, and thank you so much for stopping by to check out my latest video. And today I'm here continuing to work on the hashtag Little Bits of Lace 2024, hosted by Cori Dahmen here on YouTube. I have Cori's information listed below in the description box if you open it up. I also have, this is a series, and I think I'm somewhere in the 20s now, so I have over 20 episodes of ideas on how to use little bits of lace. So again, that's the premise of this challenge, is to use up little bits of lace in our stash. And I have, you know, a huge bowl full of lace. I use a lot of lace in my projects, so I'm always trying to come up ideas on how to use up the little bits. But today for the journal that I'm working on, again, I'm just working on an idea envelope flip journal with the little bits of lace. And I really wanted to put in like a decorated bag. And so I did pull some from my stash, and I just wanted to show you guys. So here's kind of some glassine bags that I originally bought at Hobby Lobby. You can also find them easily on Amazon if you look up glassine bags, and they're in different sizes. So this is a little bit larger size. Here's like a paper bag one that's made out of paper, and I think I found these ones actually at Walmart, like where they have like the wedding craft stuff. Sometimes they have the bags, and I think I bought those there. I also have like really small paper bags that someone shared with me too, and those are kind of fun. And I was just going to give you the idea on those. I don't think I'm going to add this style to my journal, but I did pull out some of my porch prints images that I had, and I just wanted to show you real quick how you could decorate something like this. You could decorate it like this. I would cut down this. I would do some layering on the edges with, you know, since this is a little bits of lace challenge, you can add some lace right here, or even right here at the top of the pocket. You could layer underneath here with some lace. And then what's nice about this type style of bag is that you would still have a tuck spot right here. And then you also would have the top of the bag would be open, so you could tuck something in there, and depending upon how you glued it, you could have a pocket or a tuck spot. So I just wanted to show you guys this style of bag also, in case you had some of these small little bags in your stash, that those are really fun to decorate and use. But again, today we're going to use this style of bag to decorate, because this is the one I want to put in my journal. And let me measure this one. This one is a little over like 4 1/4 by 3. So it's 3 this way, and then from the bottom to the top it's about 4 1/4. And so I did already go ahead and I inked the edges on this one. I used Victorian Velvet Distress ink from Tim Holtz. And then I pulled out some different stuff. This image was from My Porch Prints, from one of her kits, rose kits, and I thought that one would be kind of pretty. And so I did glue on some eyelash lace behind there before we started the video. And I'm not quite sure. I do want to do some layering on here with some laces and trims. And I have some different ones that I pulled from my stash sitting here. I'm not going to use all of these, but I just want something to play with. I don't really have a huge idea what I want to do. I have a remnant of some music paper, and I think I want to use that for sure. And then the little word rose I'm going to use, and I cut that off again from one of the My Porch Prints rose kits on Etsy, that I think I want to use the word rose also on my layout. So, and then here I have a scrap of tea-dyed paper. So I think I want to rip that up and kind of use that as my base on here. And I'm going to add some lace too. You could also like cut up a piece of your lace and use that underneath your image. And I still might do that. That's why I have this remnant sitting here. I buy a lot of grab bags at thrift stores, and that was a piece that was in one of the grab bags. So, so let's come up with some ideas here. I'll zoom in just a little bit closer so you guys can see better. And so let's just start by, I'm just going to start by ripping an edge. Because I do want this to have a ripped edge. Then I still have a nice little piece left that I can like stamp a word and use that on something else. Or I can glue it down on a masterboard project or something. So there's that piece. I'm going to ink the edges on this one real quick. And I do think I want some lace kind of hiding underneath this or peeking out. So I am trying to decide. I had this pretty lace, but I don't think it matches. But again, like I said, I had this piece that came from a grab bag, and I bought the grab bag for other things. But I think I can cut this one down. Like this lace right here. Again, for me, I'm defining anything that's little bits of lace as anything 12 inches or less. So this one isn't quite, it's pretty close to 12 inches, but not quite, so we can count it. But this one, what I would do for a project is I would definitely cut off the top, and I've maybe even already done that on other projects, and you can use this like at the top of a, or at the base of something, which we might. So let's just start off with that first. Let's just cut this down because I want to make it so it's not gathered. I want it to be a flat piece of lace if I'm just using it as a layering piece, which is something I love doing on all sorts of things, is just using my lace scraps as layering pieces. You can also use, like I have this remnant left over too that I used half of it on something. I mean this one too, I think, and I still might use this one. This one's really pretty. This one came from Kim at Angel Dreams Crafts, Kim, that you could just kind of layer it on the side of something. Just a little bit of that one. So I might use this one on the top. Or if you wanted to use it on the base, you know, you could just layer it like that too on the top and the bottom, and then it looks like you have a whole panel. But I think this one I just want something underneath here before I put this on top, because then I have quite a bit left over so I can continue to use this on some other projects for layering. So I'm going to cut off the bottom of this one. And again, I'll have that remnant left for something else. And then this one, I just want little bits of this one showing kind of on the sides. So I like that. So that'll work. And then let's glue that down. And I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on a couple of the solid areas on the back of this, just to make it stick a little bit better. But it should stick once I start gluing other stuff down on top of it. I don't quite remember how I had it laid before, but then we'll glue that down on top. So there's what it looks like. So then our main image, I'm going to for sure glue that down. And then, like I said, somewhere I'm just going to add the word rose on here. And so I still want to add some more lace. I did also have a piece of doily too. I got to decide if I want to add a little bit of that underneath here. I think that's just too much. I'll save that for another project. So I'll set that aside. So let's see what I had here. Oh, I had the music paper that I really wanted to use too. I have so many bits and pieces of music paper. So what does that look like layered? So yeah, I do like that. It just needs to be cut down a little bit more, or ripped a little bit more. So let's just rip that, and then I'm going to ink the edges. Yeah, I just wanted a little bit of that showing. I love adding lots of layers to my projects. Just adds a little bit of depth to them. So that works still, and I can still, you know, layer the word rose on there somewhere. So let's see what I have. I do have some leftover dangle trim that would look cute hanging off of the bottom. But I might just hang parts of this off of some of the envelopes. So I might hold on to that. I have a piece of lace curtain that's left over. So I could add, you know, another layer, which that looks kind of pretty. So I could add that, and then you could still see the hint of the music paper underneath that. I could cut it down and just use half of it. What does that look like if I were just to use half? Or just a little bit of it? Probably have smaller pieces of this floating around. I did a project a long time ago, and these were just offcuts. I think I made like some sort of garland or tassel or something with it for somebody. So a little bit smaller piece I think might work. So let's just cut this one down a little bit. So I have that. So yeah, let's glue these two down. So I want to add just another little bit of lace. I do have this remnant left over, and that would look really pretty just on one of the edges or on two of the edges. But I have this one from Kim's shop, which I just love. And I'd use this on some notebook covers. And I thought I had used it all, but then I found this one was actually on the floor when I swept after that project, and I added it to my little bits of lace bowl that's sitting here. So I just think I want a little hint of this, just maybe underneath. Or maybe on the top. That's kind of pretty on the top. I wonder what... Or maybe it's too much. I don't know. Or we could put a little bit of that underneath. Just... You know, I had it in my head before I started filming that I for sure was going to use this little piece of lace. But maybe, I think if it was on a bigger composition, I think it would work. But I think it's too much. And so I'm going to save it because I really love this lace. So I'll use it on something else down the road. Like, it would look really pretty just on the edge of something like that. So, so I'll save this one. So I do have this remnant too that's left over. I could put that at the bottom. So what if I were to kind of wrap this one around? You know, glue it around on the two sides. And then I could stick the rose up in the corner. I kind of like that. Yeah, let's do that. And I like this down here, so let's leave that on here. Yeah, that still works. And then let's go ahead and glue this one down. I think I'm going to angle it just slightly. So that's what it looks like so far. And I like it like that too. But like I said, I think I want to use up this little bit of remnant here. And so when you go around the corners, you can kind of gather it to make it go around the corner. But here's a little trick, is where you want it to bend and go around the corner, just cut in just a little bit. And then it's going to be easier to make it go around the edge. So that was just kind of a little trick for some of the laces, if you've ever struggled trying to get it to go around a corner without having to actually cut it and then, you know, glue down two different pieces. So yeah, that'll work. So I'm just going to put a little strip of glue. I think this will be easiest to just put it directly on the image, instead of adding it to the lace. That'll just take a second. I might have to hold that corner down just to make sure that it attaches. There we go. And then I have this to add up there, but I still have this little remnant that we cut off of the curtain. And I actually ended up covering all that so you can't even see it anyway. So I guess if you're doing the exact same thing as me, you could maybe skip that one because you can't even see it now. But let's add that little bit of lace underneath the rose before we glue it down. I think that just adds a little bit of extra texture to it. I'm just going to put a couple dabs of glue in the corner there and then put this down. So yeah, there's actually a spot here to add, you know, I can add some ephemera or a journal card inside the bag, but I don't know what I want to put in there yet. But let's find a spot in my journal to glue this in, and then we'll call it good for the day for this episode of using little bits of lace on little bags in our journals. So here's the journal that I'm adding stuff to. It's an envelope flip journal, and I always sew my stuff in at the end. So I think I had a spot in here at the back. Yep, here it is, that I wanted to add it to add the decorated bag. So I'm going to do that right here. And I can still flip that up on top, or I could actually put this on. No, I guess that's an envelope back there. I could put it here too. But what I'm thinking, what I might do is I might go grab, oh, maybe I have some, that's long enough. Let's do this one. I might make this into just a flip too, so that it can flip this way, and then you still have all this space to write, and you have all of this to write on the back. So if I'm going to do that, let's quick just ink the back of this. And then let's see if I need to cut this down a little bit. Probably. So let's just make a tab real quick. You could also use like a offcut of like your paper collection if you're working with a specific paper collection to make a tab for the flip. Or you could also use a piece that we talked earlier in one of the episodes to the flip flaps. And, you know, connector pieces that you could also use that too for connecting something like this. But I don't really have any of the right types of lace sitting here for that. So we'll just call this one good. So let's glue this one on. And again, I just folded up a scrap piece of paper. So that's, and then I'll glue right here so that I can make this flip open. I just got to see if I need to add a little more. Glue or not, I think that's good enough. Okay. Maybe I'll put another little dab under there, just to make sure. Then we'll put the glue onto this top. And you don't want to add any glue here because you want it to be able to open. So let's put that where we want it. So I like how that turned out. And let's see, I could add just this little offcut that we ripped just to add a little decoration there. So let's do that, just to use up a scrap. And I think I'm just going to lightly add a little pink of the Distress ink. I probably should have did that before I glued it down, but this will work. And let's see, maybe we'll add another one of these words, and I can use that leftover lace bit. So let's add the word lovely, or beautiful. Let's do beautiful. So that'll give it a little interest when you open it up. You could also, if you wanted to, stamp something on this before you glued it down, or before I glued it down, but I just didn't have any stamps sitting on my desk, so I'm just going to leave that. You could still do a fussy cut or something there, but what's nice now is you have a journaling space right here, and this is still light enough that you could journal if you wanted to. So I like that, and then it'll be fun because you'll most likely have some sort of lace or something sticking up from the top. Like if I added this to the journal card, which we talked about that in one of the previous episodes, you could see that hanging out the top, and then even when this is closed, you'd see it. So whatever I add into there, I'll probably do that to it. So there is my decorated bag and my journal. I really love how that turned out. So thank you again, everybody, so much for watching today. Hopefully you enjoyed today's episode of using little bits of lace on to decorate bags. And I will be back later with another episode of Little Bits of Lace. This journal's getting kind of full, so I don't know how many more things I can put in there. But again, if you open up the description box, I do have links for previous episodes if this is your first episode and you're checking it out and you want some more ideas on how to use little bits of lace in your journal. And until next time, everyone have a wonderful day and happy crafting.